Daniel is 14 years old and lives in a quiet neighborhood on the edge of a small town. He's thoughtful and often sketches or walks alone. While others seem to know where they're going in life, Daniel feels as if he's always searching. Lately, Daniel felt disconnected, even around his friends. They talk about sports, parties, and plans for their future, but Daniel doesn't relate. He wonders if something is wrong with him. To clear his thoughts, he started taking long walks through the nearby forest trails. He didn't know why. He just knew that being in nature felt right. Still, he had no answers, only questions. One afternoon, he asked himself out loud, "What's the point of all this?" The silence that followed only matched the quiet confusion inside him. Daniel began carrying a notebook and wrote about what he saw and how he felt. He found a quiet bench near a stream and visited each day to write. He wasn't sure why it mattered, but he always felt better after his time in nature with his journal. One day, he found a note under a rock by the bench. It said, "If you feel lost, you're not alone. I sat here once too. Keep walking." The note was unsigned. Something clicked in his mind. He thought, maybe others wander too. Maybe this place has seen hundreds of questions like his. He noticed that he didn't feel so isolated as before. He kept walking and writing and wondering. But now, he wasn't looking for answers. He began noticing the sunlight through the trees, the wind in the leaves, and the rhythm of his steps. In school, his teacher read one of his poems to the class. She said, "Daniel, that's wonderful. Have you ever thought of becoming a writer?" Daniel shrugged. His teacher planted a seed in him that made him think more about his writing in the future. He quietly began uploading his poems online. Strangers responded with kind words. One person wrote, "This is exactly how I feel." It reminded him of the note by the bench, to keep walking. Daniel still walks, and he still wonders. Now he knows wandering isn't always about being lost. It's sometimes how we learn to see. Sitting on his bench, Daniel smiles. The quiet is still there, and it feels like part of him. Not something to escape. Now he knows he belongs somewhere, even if he's still walking toward it. Lena is 15 years old, bright and creative, but keeps to herself. At school, she's often sketching designs in her notebook or staring out the window. In her mind, she feels like a background character in everyone else's story. Even at home, Lena doesn't feel noticed or heard. Her older siblings are louder, more accomplished, and they always seem to shine. Lena feels invisible, like she's just drifting through each day. One afternoon, Lena missed her bus, and it began to rain. With nowhere to go, she ducked into a small library she had never noticed before. Inside, she found a forgotten corner filled with old art books. She sat down and lost track of time as she flipped through pages of paintings and art. She felt inspired and began drawing again, but differently. This time, she drew what she felt. The loneliness, the wonder, and scenes from her dreams. Her drawings weren't perfect, but they were real. The librarian, a quiet older woman, noticed her drawings. "There's emotion in your lines," she said. "Have you ever shown your work before?" Lena shook her head in surprise. Another girl overheard them talking and invited Lena to join a youth art group that meets every Thursday night. Lena hesitated, but out of curiosity, she agreed. When she first walked in, Lena was surprised. The room was filled with quiet kids, all sketching and painting. No loudness or trying to impress. She felt understood. Through the group, Lena saw her wandering as part of her process. Her art became more expressive and showed who she really is. Others asked about her ideas, and she answered, not with shyness, but purpose. She realized there are many like her, people who once felt invisible, but found a connection in creative silence. Lena no longer felt like she was on the outside looking in. She still prefers the background, but now she sees it differently. It's where she can observe, feel, and create. Her wandering wasn't wasted, it was how she found her own language. One night, when Lena walked home from the art group with her sketchpad under her arm, she noticed the peaceful blue and orange sunset. She realized that she doesn't wish to be anywhere else. She's not lost. She's living. Daniel and Lena met at a community event where local teens share their art and writing. He read a poem, and she shared one of her drawings based on his writing. Their stories crossed. Not as wanderers looking for escape, but as young people who wandered and have now discovered meaning and developed a quick friendship.